gives you an opportunity to be able to elevate your process. Of course, SWOT stands for strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Now, here is how you categorize that so that you understand how the SWOT analysis works. In life, there is the internal dimension and there is the external dimension. Every time you want to deal with a situation, you've got to understand it from both perspectives. Your ability to engage your thinking, to first look at what are the internal dimension. The internal dimension is, number one, what is my strength? Every one of us has a strength. We all have a strength. Everyone that God has created comes with a strength that is innate, inborn, inherent within us. And we need to know it. The second bit of the internal dimension is, what is my weakness? Because just like you have a strength, you know it, you have a weakness. That's the first part. The external dimension is, what are the opportunities? What are the opportunities that avail me? Because if you understand your strength and you understand your opportunities, you merge them. In the same way, you need to know what are the threats. That is the T. What are the threats? When you understand your threats, you match it with your weakness, you know how to avoid becoming a victim of the issues of life. So the SWOT analysis, which is a thinking process, brings you to a point where you are not intimidated, you are not easily surprised or taken for granted, because you already know your strength. When the opportunities come, it's just to deploy the strength. Just like you know your weakness. And when the threats come, you know how to protect that weakness so that you don't become a cheap victim. But beyond the dimension of protection and escaping the issues that are thrown at us, is the bigger dimension of applying your strength to your opportunities. Because in life, as a leader, oftentimes people come to you and they request help and they say, I don't know what to do and all of that. It's a very simple thing. What are your strengths? What do you know you have the capacity to do and do so well? We live in times and seasons where you don't need to tell anybody that it's not a degree that you got from the university that determines how far in life you go. Not at all. It's oftentimes a condition of the strength, what you might call the talent, or the innate natural abilities you possess. That's your strength. Now, look at your environment. What opportunities does your strength avail you of? And if you can match your strength with your opportunities, success is guaranteed. Just like in the same way, if you can match your threats with your weakness, you can more easily escape a disaster. Every man should know his weakness. You know what you are weak at. Every man should know what the threats that will be used against your weakness. So if you study the scriptures, for instance, when it came to a man like Samson, his weakness was very clear. His weakness was the opposite sex. And that was his undoing. When it came to somebody like Moses, his weakness was his anger. All through the scriptures, people, when you understand what your weakness is, just understand that that's where your threat is going to come from. There's no way around it. In the same way as you understand your opportunities, that is where you apply your strength. If you match it properly, you discover that you can obtain the kind of victory that you want to obtain. In taking this further, there is a scripture I'd like to read for us in the book of Psalms. It's in the book of Psalms, and it's the book of Psalm chapter 60. Let me read it for us. It's Psalm 64, verses 5 to 6. In that place, David was bringing us to a point of appreciating the reality of spiritual warfare. He was trying to help us see how that even when the enemies chooses to attack, to do what they know to do best, to steal, to kill, or to destroy, they don't just come without planning. That scripture tells us that the enemy takes out his time to think through